Welcome back to another episode of the Postpartum Wellness Show with me, your host, Dr. Kristal. I am checking in on all of you who have been celebrating the Chinese New Year and Lunar New Year since last week. I took the week off as well, so there was no episode last week. I specifically wanted to see how those of you who are doing your postpartum confinement month during this festive season are doing. And before we get into today's episode, I want to just do a quick disclaimer. This podcast is just for educational and informational purposes. So please, if you have any medical concerns and medical questions, please see your health providers to get your answers. So the reason I wanted to check in with you is, although this could be a really festive season, as per the last episode that I put out before the Chinese New Year and Lunar New Year started, I just wanted to see how you were doing. Did you go out to celebrate with your family and friends as well? Or did you have a more quiet time for resting after childbirth and to do your confinement month? Let me know how it's been going for you. And the reason I wanted to check in is two parts. Those of you who have chosen to participate in the festivities during your confinement month, I hope that your relatives have been kind to you and understanding as well of your needs and boundaries that are set during this time. And for those of you who have chosen to have more of a quiet Chinese New Year and Lunar New Year, how has that been going for you? Are you having some FOMO, some kind of missing out on the festivities? Absolutely understandable if you feel emotional for not being able to participate this year. And also for those of you who did participate, absolutely understandable as well if you were emotional during this time with, seeing your loved ones around you or even just being in the moment. Because I sure remember in my first postpartum experience, during my first confinement experience, I was watching some kind of children's show, a cartoon, and I just cried, sobbed, like really ugly cried just because. And I can't even remember what scene it was. And because, hormones are up and down during this time, a lot is going on, and you have quite a lot of recovery to do after the pregnancy and childbirth. Yeah. So, yeah, just wanted to see how all of you are doing, both for moms, dads, the birthing parent, and unbirthing parents, because this is a time where your roles, the changes in family dynamic are evolving, and all of you are learning how to be part of your growing family. And this is for first time parents as well as for those of you who are growing your family with additional babies and children. It's always a new experience. I always say that you're always a new parent whenever you have more children because it's kind of the first time that you're doing this with a plus one. So whether you're going from just the two of you to plus one child or three of you, four of you going to a plus one more child, it's always a change in dynamic. So add on the festive season, it can be overwhelming at times. So let me know how you're doing. Just wanted to check in with you. And I wanted to offer emotional support as well during this time for those of you tuning in because the Chinese New Year and Lunar New Year is a 15-day celebration. Sure, the public holidays itself differs across countries and ethnicities, depending as well on your family tradition. But generally, the overall celebration is an average 15 days. So you could still be doing visiting with family and friends. There are different days, the different meanings, and some of you who observe the religious aspect of this time, you could be going to the temples or doing some worshiping or rituals during this time. So it's not completely over and done with just because the public holidays may be over and done with. Yeah, you could still have some other practices that are happening during this time. So a nice way to check in. And when I say I offer emotional support is more of validation and reassurance that, if this past week you've had a a tiring and difficult time, it is absolutely expected because you are trying to participate, or if you have chosen not to participate, you have a lot of feelings either way, regardless of the choice that you made during this festive season. And it is a lot to take in. It is a lot for you to process and to feel, both mothers, fathers, birthing parents, and non birthing parents. So I just wanted to say that whatever feelings you have is valid, even if it's anger, even if it's resentment, even if it's sadness, or being so happy till you're crying, because the feeling of joy could be overwhelming as well. And for the moms and the birthing parents, you have already all your hormones trying to figure things out right after the delivery of your baby and the placenta. And then for, fathers and non-birthing parents, you are responding to participating in caregiving and even exposure to the whole pregnancy process. Your brain responds to the input that you feed it, and then that regulates hormones as well. So there is also a lot going on for fathers and non-birthing parents during this time. And not only that, we have, for most of us, a lot of nosy relatives, more so relatives than friends who are nosy, to be honest, because they want to know what's going on. They give unsolicited advice. They expect a lot of us, the younger generation, to follow in their footsteps. And if you choose to set boundaries and to uphold boundaries, they could presume that you're being rude and dishonorable, really, because maybe you chose not to follow certain things as well. And you are putting some rules. For example, please do not take pictures of my baby. I do not want them on social media. Or please do not kiss and hug my baby because baby is really young. And sometimes our relatives take offense to that. I just want to reassure you that if this past week you had to stand strong and you feel exhausted in doing so, is absolutely valid. And you're doing a great job with upholding your boundaries on top of setting them. It's a big achievement, especially when it comes to such a cultural thing. And we have a lot of elders that are involved, during this time as well. So you're doing a great job. Keep it up. You have another week-ish to go, a couple more days actually, because by the time this episode comes out, we'll be kind of heading towards the tail end of this 15-day celebration. So keep it up. You're doing a great job. And this is something that builds up your resilience for setting and upholding more boundaries as you progress through the rest of your postpartum years. On top of that, you might have friends who feel like they're not sure how to behave around you this time, especially if you are the first few to have a baby among your group of friends. It's an adjustment for them as well, on top of yourself. And I want to reassure you that it is normal if both you and your friend feel awkward. Give yourself some time to adjust as well. And I'll dive into this in another episode where we explore a little bit more on the effects of postpartum on the different parties involved during this time. There is a lot of folks and a lot of groups that are involved, whether it affects them directly, indirectly, or how they can contribute as well to the health and well-being of the mothers, fathers, birthing parents, and non-birthing parents, and to the children as well, and the pets as well. So there's always a lot going on during this time. In the past week, when you were meeting up with friends during this festive season, if things felt a bit weird, it's not just you. You're not being crazy. You're not being unreasonable. Remember, again, you are going through a lot, and your friends as well are trying to perhaps find how they fit into the picture now that you, especially for the first time parents, now that you have a new baby, you are stepping into a new role. And remember, your body didn't just change for this, especially for mothers and birthing parents, but your brain has also changed during the pregnancy. And research has shown that the brain changes seem to be permanent, at least for the small cohort of mothers that they followed over 6 years, that the brain changes from before pregnancy to after kind of remains. So if you feel like a new person, a different person, or something's just up with me, I'm not quite myself before, you are absolutely right in feeling that way because your brain's changed. And they have also found that these brain changes were present in fathers and non-birthing parents, especially those who engaged a lot in the caregiving and bonding and just spending time with the babies as well from a young age. Because just like every other part of our health, what we feed it, whether it's food, what we watch, what we hear, mental health things, the environment, what we feed and provide our brain, the brain responds. So this is why that change happens as well for the fathers and unbirthing parents. But we'll go into detail of this discussion in another episode. I just wanted to give you some science and also a lot more just support that, if you found this festive season both enjoyable and difficult or just difficult, it is absolutely valid. Yeah. And, you have a lot to face with a lot of folks, and especially for the moms and birthing parents who are still fresh out of childbirth and you're doing your confinement month. You're healing. There's still so much happening to your body. You still probably look pregnant, probably kind of feel a bit pregnant because maybe the bloating is still there. You're still trying to navigate getting rid of all the gas and yeah, the bloating. You might have still some swollen feet. All that might take time to go away depending on when you've given birth. Some of you who might have the so-called pregnancy nose, I had that because I had this pregnancy allergic rhinitis, or the pregnancy rhinitis symptom where my nose just was so congested all the time. And I look back at all my pictures now and I'm like, gosh, my nose felt like it doubled in size and I felt ugly, ugly as. And it took time after pregnancy for my face to feel less swollen. The skin changes that you experience during pregnancy is going to take a while to go away. So I understand for those of you who are moms and birthing parents who are listening and trying to show up during this festive season in the glorious traditional clothes and wanting to feel fantastic during this time. It could be hard. It could be challenging. And if you feel ugly, I understand. And you are absolutely, your feelings are valid to feel that way. Yeah. Because you're fresh out of childbirth. You are still doing your confinement month. Okay. So this is not going to be a long episode. It's not going to be full of facts, but I just wanted to say, 恭喜发财, 恭喜发财, and Happy New Year. And whatever you have done so far, you're doing great. And however you have celebrated this festive season, you are doing your best. For the rest of the few days left during this 15-day period, if you want to take it slow, take it quiet, please do so. If you want to have a little bit more celebration, you feel you're up for it, go for it. There is no right, there is no wrong. There is nothing correct to choose except what you feel like doing, that you feel is also the best for yourself, for your newborn, and for your family. Okay, so just checking in with you. Please reach out, to your loved ones, if especially those of you who are going through your second week postpartum, the baby blues might have set in. Please reach out to your loved ones to talk if you need to. A reminder to reach out to your healthcare providers, or if those of you have confinement nannies or you're in the confinement center or postnatal retreat, talk to the providers there who can offer you emotional support as well. And definitely, if you have any concerns, please reach out to your medical health providers, okay? Your health is important, your well-being is important during this time. And I wish you all the best. And I will talk to you again in the next episode, okay?